this morning I'm joined by Jocelyn Kiley from the Pew Research Center. Jocelyn, thanks for joining me. And you just gave a presentation about representing Hispanics in general public opinion surveys. And so I was interested in finding out what some of your sort of key findings were that would be of interest to pollster.com readers.
Sure. Well, over the course of the past year, we've been conducting a number of our surveys, including Spanish language interviewing. And we think that that's very important in terms of getting at Hispanics in our general population polls, simply because surveys conducted only in English just don't fully represent the Hispanic population. But there's also a practical consideration on our end in terms of conducting these bilingual polls. And so one of the things we found, I did some comparisons just to show that English-only polls just significantly underrepresent certain parts of the Hispanic population.
Mm-hmm. So, what are some of the challenges in terms of translating questionnaires, particularly if there's anything in regards to political surveys?
Well, I think the number one issue for political pollsters is time. We work on really short time frames. We finalize our questionnaire just shortly before we go into the field, and that practically means that building in time to translate a questionnaire is actually something that's a bit difficult. And so what we're actually doing is, when we go into the field, just with the English questionnaire, just with your standard interview population, but then we translate the questionnaire during that first night in the field and start calling back any households that were identified as Spanish speaking and with a fully Spanish language questionnaire. So, but that's a big challenge for us. Yeah.
And one of the things that the exit polls have shown over the last few years is that the proportion of the electorate that is Hispanic is growing, and particularly, young voters. You've got, only 2 out of 3 young voters are white. The rest are Hispanic, African American, etc. So it's even more important to make sure that they are represented. What would your advice be to, campaign pollsters or, the folks who are doing the fast horse race stuff, beyond just making sure that they offer Spanish language surveys? What other advice would you give to them to improve their methodology?
Well, I think and this isn't just about Hispanics, but on the whole, reaching younger people has a lot to do with how much cell phone interviewing you're doing. And so, if you've got the budget to do cell phone interviews, I think the more cell phone interviews you can do, the better you'll get at representing young people overall. But and since so many young people are Hispanic and other non-white groups, you'll help your numbers with those as well. So.
Okay, well, Jocelyn, thank you very much.
Sure, thanks.